we're really excited to be back home. Obviously, any chance we get to be home is just another opportunity to get our fans involved, and we love playing at home. So, yeah, we're excited to be back. Obviously, Louisville has had some momentum recently, and we know that they're going to come in and try to continue that. But we have as well, and we want to make sure that we impose our game on them. And yeah, we have a lot of confidence in how we want to proceed.
And coming back from the summer break, obviously a few games after that, but has the intensity at training changed a bit? I mean, obviously a few other players have joined this club now, so how has that intensity been at training?
Yeah, it's been really good. Honestly, I think over the break we had some really hard conversations like amongst the team, with the staff, coaching staff, and we know that prior to coming into the break, we were operating at a high level, but we weren't operating at the highest level. And we wanted to come back in and restart this season, the second half of the season, a lot stronger and bringing new players in and having that environment as they came in already was going to be important and continuing to push each other. So I think every day since the break, it's definitely been more competitive, it's been more intensity. And I think that standard and that accountability is there a lot more. And at the beginning, it was hard because we had so much change and so many people who were new. We were kind of creating our own environment. And I think halfway through, it was a good time to reflect and say, it's not good enough. We want to make it a better environment. And I think we've done that so far.
And one last question for me. A few months ago, 8 months ago to be exact, we were talking about Naomi Girma's transfer right to Chelsea, which was a record-breaking fee. And now recently, Orlando Pride broke that record again with Lisbeth Valle. I'm just curious on your opinion on how much the women's game is growing to the point where big signings like this are newer and newer records being broken.
Yeah, I think records are meant to be broken. Obviously, it took it got broken twice in the year, and I want to see that happen sooner. I want to see that happen in a couple months rather than 12 months. So I want to continue this. I think it's great to see. I think these transfer fees are valid and deserve it, and I think it's important that we continue to push that and push women's football and women's sports all over the world to the level it demands to be at. I'm excited to see her in the league. Obviously, played against her internationally. She's going to be a good threat, going to impose herself in this league, so it's going to be great.
Thank you. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Anything from you guys? Fernando, Abraham? Abraham, let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Hey, Kailen, thank you for the time. Could you speak a little bit more to some of the changes that you guys brought about in the middle of the season? You guys were still performing at a high level on the table, but what did you see that you think that you guys needed to change?
Yeah, I think obviously coming into this year, we were really unsure how it was all gonna gel together and mesh together and kind of come out on the field with little time to prepare. And I think we even not surprised ourselves, but we impressed ourselves with the place we put ourselves in going into the break. And we could see day in and day out for the first 6 months the potential in the group and the talent in the group. And I think coming into the summer break, knowing that, we demanded more and we set a standard a lot higher. And we're talking about putting goals into action and putting them into words so that we can hold ourselves accountable a little bit more. It's an uncomfortable place to be. We're sitting in a room and demanding more of each other, and um, it can be challenging, but I think it was really warranted and needed for our team to really take a look inside and say, hey, are we going to do this? Because we have the ability to and we have the potential, but we need to get everybody all in and all on board. And it's a awkward conversation to have, but we had the opportunity to do it in the middle of the year with the break. And I think coming out of it, we've seen it in training every week. The intensity has risen, the drive has risen, and I think just the belief in the talent in the room has risen.
Thank you.
Of course.
And Fernando, we'll have you go next.
Hi, thank you so much for talking to us. Quick question: has it been brought up at all, or anything in training about? It's been a while since you guys have won at home, and what has kind of been behind that? Why I think the North Carolina game back in May is the last time that you guys won at home. Is there anything to that? Anything that was brought up at training about that?
I think more importantly, it's the amount of goals we're scoring and then on the flip side as well, the amount we're conceding. We don't want to concede and we want to score more, and we're giving the numbers and the statistics are on our side, but we're not producing. And I think that's more of the side that we're talking about more in training. And it's how do we flip that and how do we become the better version of ourselves to create that? Obviously, we want to win every game. We want to win at home. We want to put on a performance for our city. Um, and it's not necessarily avoiding that. We want to look at dead in the face. We want to win at home. There's definitely a conversation about winning at home. But ultimately, it's how we do that. We can want to win at home all day long, but we need to talk about how we're going to do it and make sure that we're demanding that in training.
Did you guys feel like last Saturday was kind of like you get the proverbial monkey off your back? It was you guys have been on streaks this year. There was a point where you guys were 6 games of you guys won you guys had either won or tied 6 games in a row, and then obviously you guys had the 3 game skid where it was tie, and then now you guys have finally won. Do you feel like you kind of this is a point where this could be a lot like Bay FC could be the launching point to finish the season strong?
I don't necessarily see it as the point. I do see it as a great step forward in what we're trying to achieve. I think with all of our, like I said before, the statistics about shots and creating chances and just feeling like we're dominating but not seeing it in the results, that in a sense made us feel a lot better because we could see it. You could physically see the result of all of that work instead of, 1 goal or 0-0 or which we had, yeah, frustratingly created ourselves in the past. So it definitely was a step to show that what we've been doing over the past few weeks is working. And obviously things don't just happen overnight. I think that was more of a culmination of the preseason, summer season, and the 2 games before that that we could see like little beneficial jumps, but we couldn't see the product.
Mhm.
So ultimately, I think that's yes, it's a step forward. I don't think it's the turning point. I think the turning point was the summer.
Okay. And then last one for me. Just after that Angel City game, obviously Jonas is new to here. He's a new coach and everything. He grabbed you guys after the game and basically said, "Hey, we need to wake up. We need to get going. We need to get this going. We're better than this." Just for you, you're one of the leaders of this team. For him to see him do that, what did that kind of mean for you? Obviously, like I said, in his first season here.
Honestly, I think we all knew that before he even said it. It was great of him to put it into words and demand that standard verbally. But ultimately, this group, like I said, we talked about in the summer, we put into words ourselves what we expect. And he's there to hold us to that and to say, you said this, I'm going to keep you here. And I think him holding us to that standard and pushing us and not allowing us to say, oh, it's just one time or oh, we'll get it next time and really take a look inward and make ourselves better every day. That's what you want. You want to have that. And you want to have somebody who holds you to that standard. We're still learning him, he's still learning us. And I think it'll take some time to get that fluidity, but that's a great point forward to show that this is what the club demands. He's not going to let us fly, and we're not going to allow ourselves to just let our foot off the gas. That's not the kind of club we are.
Thank you so much for the time.
Of course.
Sweet. Tony, good? If so, we will bring in Jonas next. Thank you, guys.
I mean, right now we have had a quite nice rhythm with time between the games, so we have had opportunity to practice a lot, mainly on ourselves and what we need to do in our performance, but also what the next opponent will bring. So lots of good training teams here for the whole team.
And then what has it been like acclimating some of the new players, especially Ludinia, in that final third as well?
Yeah, I mean, the players coming in is on a very different stage. Lorena Facer is coming in. She speaks really good English, but she hasn't played a competitive games in 10 weeks. So she's obviously needs to come into match fitness. Dudinia comes straight from Copa America, so she has match fitness, but she doesn't speak any English. So she has a little bit more on to just adapt there. So we just need to work with them individually to get them up to speed.
And then finally, here around the corner is the season for American football on that same surface. Last year, the final game at home for Wave had to be moved. Is there any special consideration when it comes to the pitch conditions moving forward, or is there any specific things that you may be preparing your squad for as well? Thank you.
No comments.
All right, we'll go to Fernando next.
Jonas, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just what was it? Obviously, you guys had that streak of 3 games, tying and everything, and then you guys win on Saturday. Just what was that finally? What was that like to get that win and kind of moving forward, especially with a big game this weekend against Louisville?
I think it was more importantly coming from Angel City, where I said I was disappointed with our performance in the second half there, and getting back to performance levels that we can be much happier with. That was more important. We know we can win, draw, lose football matches here. Like we know it's an even league, but we control our own performance, and we need to be able to look ourselves in the mirror after to say that we reach the standards we want to do. And that was nice to see that we had a good training week, we had a good performance there as well. But now we need to repeat and we need to do it again.
And then last one for me. I'm writing a story on Kimmy, and Kenza told me that she's kind of taken her under her wing as a little sister, that she watches film with her. She points out things that she needs to get better at. Just what have you seen from that relationship between both of them, and how have you thought Kimmy's season has gone so far?
I think she develops a lot. I think she trains every day with clear intention, with really high standards on herself, and that's usually a really good recipe for development. So has this been in Kimmy's case as well. She constantly wants to learn, she wants to grow, but she's also confident in her own abilities. I think she's really grown into the league this season here, and yeah, helping us as a team, of course, a lot with both her skills on the ball and off the ball. When it comes to her relationship with Kenza, for example, I think it goes to a lot of our players. They invest a lot of time in each other. They help each other as peers. And it's really important for your professional development that we have that. Because of course we can develop from coach to player. Sometimes we develop from player to coach as well, but the development from player to player, it's so important as well. And we can transfer knowledge, we can exchange experiences over there, and we have some players that have some incredible experiences, and it's a really good way of using that. And I think Kenza is one of the players that's doing a great job of that, but we also have others.
Thank you.
And Alejandro, we'll have you wrap it up.
Hi, Jonas. Thank you for the time. Obviously, the focus is on this upcoming home match, but there is a lot of promotion and excitement behind the September 7 match against Houston, which will be Alex Morgan's jersey retirement. Obviously, that's not very common all over the world when it comes to soccer. I'm just curious on your opinion on the jersey retirement on Alex Morgan's legacy with Wave.
Of course, Alex is a legend in the game. She played tremendous part in women's football, not only here in San Diego and United States, globally. She's a global legend of the game, and of course she's played such an important part in the beginning of the journey here for San Diego Wave as well. So it's really nice that we can honor that legacy in a way, and of course it's really nice that we have her as an owner and as a long-term investor in the club and its future.
Thank you for the time. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Love it. Thank you guys. See you.